G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here with another 7 Days to Die build video. So today I said I was going to show you how I built my advanced pillbox base. So I've got everything set up. This is being done in creative mode, so it's a little bit cheaty, but it'll give you a basic idea of the process that I went through, the steps I went through to build this base in a reasonable amount of time. We'll be doing some speed up as well. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so as you can see, this here is the area where I built my base, and I'm pretty sure I sort of used this line here previously to mark the edge of my base. Now, what I did was I sort of came out from here and I started following it with... So this is sort of the last block there that's on the lower ground. From here on, it's upper ground. So that I'm going to have to dig out from here up. But what I want to do is I want to find out how far up I need to go. So as you recall, it was 2 blocks high. So the ceiling is going to be at this level here. Right, that's going to be the height of the ceiling, but I went another couple of blocks above that. So in reality, if I wanted to dig straight down, I could probably do it from here. So this line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops. Well, yeah, actually, yeah. So that there, and then coming down here. So this, I'm going to be digging out where all of those blocks are. That area there, and that's going to start to build the entryway. So I have this demolisher gun here, that's one of these debug tools. So that's going to make it very quick and easy for me to do this. I'm probably going to make the odd mistake here and there, but the idea will be that I should, if I pay attention to what I'm doing, be able to dig this out without too much of a problem. So I'm going to dig out this first little bit and show you what I did initially, and then we'll go from there. So hang on a sec. Okay, so we're back, and this is the entry area then. You can see I've basically done all that, and yes, I made that one mistake there and took out one too many, but that's fine. We can handle that. Now, I put the doorway on this side because the hill goes over that way further than it does over that way, and I didn't want to take the chance that the little loop that I built as a doorway would end up going into an area where there was just dirt and not rock. So the idea was to have as much rock around where I was as opposed to dirt. Now, I think when I originally built this, I didn't take out all of this top section here. I just burrowed in at too high all the way in, and I put a door right here. So I went 1, 2 like that. And we put in a door. Right, and so I put a door there, and then I started to put bars next to it. Like, that was a mistake to take that block there out. So let's put some bars there as well. And I used... Well, actually, I used normal wooden bars, not centered, not scented as in sweet smelling, but if you use if you use the iron bar, the wooden bars that are not centered in the block but are on the outsides, they match up a lot better with the door. So that's a good option there. So, but what I basically did at this point is I just burrowed straight through. Okay, and I worked out how far I wanted to go. So I had this block here. Then the plan was to have the door at the second block, and then one more block as a buffer zone, and then 2 blocks worth of. So the door would be over on that wall over there where that block is, and then there would be one more block there, and then 1, 2, and that. So this would be the last row of wooden bars. And so then what I did was I went back 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that then was the size of my base. And what I did, right, is I said, okay, where are my doors going to go again? So there's, I don't need a door here just yet, but there's going to be the gap there, and then bars and bars. So there's going to be bars there, and there's going to be bars there. So I actually put a door here and a door here. So that's where the 2 rows of bars were going to go across. Now that I've done that, what I did was I went, okay, so the inside of my base is 5 across. So I need to go 4 in this direction. 1. Oops, I think that just did the block above me, which happens sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I mean, of course, excuse me a second while it must have been on the other side of the hill. I heard a zombie there somewhere. So this, let me just close that. So yeah, there's a zombie out there somewhere. This then gave me, that doesn't, I think I've missed, yes I have, I missed that block there. Okay, so this then gives me the dimensions of my base, and I then just need to go 1, 2, 3, oops, 3, 4. Oops, I did 1 too many, but that's fine. And then if I go back to 1, 2, 3, that's broken through there. Let me just... Now, I did reinforce those doors a little bit as early as I could. So, let me just grab some wood. What I want is more in the resources. Stack of wood. There we go. And that. Oh, that's 5 stacks of wood. Okay. Okay, so I did, as I had access to the raw resources, I was upgrading these doors a little bit, but I didn't go past, where are we? There. That was as much as I upgraded that door at that point. And the same with these. I just upgraded them to basically the scrap doors and left them like that. This block here, any blocks like this that I mistakenly did, I did convert to wood blocks in the ceiling or in the floors. And this does happen occasionally, even when you're using a pickaxe, that you will occasionally think that you're swinging directly in front of you and it'll take the roof out or whatever. So we'll just... fix those up. Now I think I did an extra block there as well, or something, somewhere here. Have I screwed up? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone one too many there. So let's put a block there and a block there. They're going to be right next to the door. They can all be upgraded later. Right, where was I? Yeah, so during the process, I did occasionally do things wrong, and that's fine. You can recover from that. Right, so that's the main area done. I just need to repair some holes that I made in the floor, which, you know, isn't great. And there's a hole in the wall there. Let's just fix those up. But initially, I really didn't do anything with the floor, and I didn't do anything with the walls unless I'd made a mistake. So I got it to this level right here. My next step then was to start working back towards the front. Right? And as I did this, I would put in... Oh, actually, I need these to be the centered bars, don't I? Wooden bars centered. Just put that there. Okay, so these then were the bars that would go in the center of the blocks. And I would put those in, even though they didn't line up with the door, because the idea was eventually they were going to be bars all the way across. So and so let's finish these bars across here, and there, and there, and there, 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 and there. And so now we've basically got bars, with the exception of those two doors there. And so I then took out all of this here. Right, and I replaced... I did finish putting this one row of bars in here. And I left the door there initially because that was my way in and out. And so that was pretty much iteration 1 of the base. And at that point, I'm pretty sure I put my storage chest up here, like I had. And that's where I put most of my storage stuff then. Right, and these were my way in and out. And so my next step was, and this one I think happened around the time of the first blood moon. And what I did then was I got rid of these two doors here, and I put in the last of the bars here. And I'm pretty sure I had my junk turret at this point as well. Right? And so my junk turret went down, and it was helping me defend. And what I did was, after I finished, I think I started building, I think I had done about that much of it when the blood moon came. So I basically locked myself in here, and then after the blood moon, I finished building the tunnel out. Actually, I built the door there originally, not there. We're out. Okay. So yeah, and that was that. And then, you know, I put a door there. And a door there. And my last door there. And everything was good. Although, as I said, the actual corridor was there, not there. There was one full block between the bars, a full block, and then the door, and then the there. But that's fine. This still works well. So once I had this, I now had my way in and out, and I didn't care at this point whether this door and any of these bars get destroyed now. They are perfectly fine to be destroyed, because the rest of that is all ready to go. Then I built and I left pretty much most of this, the walls and everything, untouched at this point. And it's at this point that I started to build the tunnel down to make my second level. And that was a fair bit of work. So had to go down 4 blocks, because there was the floor and then the ceiling and then the 2 empty blocks. Now what I found the easiest thing to actually do was to actually go down in a star shape, because it was really hard to get down that hole with ladders on it when it was that tiny little shape. And so by taking out all of these blocks, I could then put the ladders up there and fill these back in with blocks, and it became a better... And you've got to remember, you're only putting 2 blocks there, because and then you've got to put 2 blocks here. And then I need ladders, don't I? I can make ladders. I only need a few of them. I need 4. Which way am I facing? Yeah, very good. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I can get back out again. And yeah, at this point then, upgrading these blocks and starting to do the same down here, and then I gradually burrowed out this area, and it's essentially the same size as upstairs. So it's a total of 5 wide, so that's as far as it needs to be in that direction, and that's as far as it needs to be in that direction, and it was 4 deep, so that's 1, 2, 3. That's as far as it needs to be in that direction. And then it was just a matter of digging out the rest that's basically the space down here. And then I just filled this up with all of... Oh, and I put another block down there. And then a hatch went on this. And by this stage, I think I had all of the material I needed to make that an iron hatch. And so I just did that straight up as an iron hatch. And it was done. And then from here, it was really just a matter of slowly going through and reinforcing everything from the stone and dirt to be... Usually, I started with cobblestone blocks because I had a lot of those available. Now, I don't know if you know this little trick, but let's just really quickly... let me show you something. So, as you go around and explore, you will see a lot of these two resources all around the place. Not just at the farm, you'll see them through people's houses. Look, there's one here, there's 2 blocks up there, there's some over there, there's some over there in the room that's around here. So there's some there. In this room here, there's a whole heap of this stuff, right? Let me show you something. If you use a shovel, and you can use the stone shovel, you don't have to use anything fancy. But the big solid blue stuff gives you the cobblestone rocks. Gives you this stuff, right? This gives you cement. Between them, you can make cobblestone blocks. Trying to do a video here, thank you. Between them, you can make cobblestone blocks, and you can make cement. You can make concrete. So if you just, whenever you raid a building, and if you want to break all of this stuff down with, usually you would use a pickaxe, you get just plain stone, but you don't need stone. Well, you'll get a lot of stone from digging out your area anyway, but whenever you're raiding, if you take a shovel with you, you can just dig out all of these blocks and get all of the cement and cobblestone rocks that you will need, and then you can use the cobblestone rocks with clay to make cobblestone blocks, to make this stuff. To make these blocks. Or you can put down a wood frame block like this one, upgrade it, as I'm sure you know, to wood, and then if you've got cobblestone rocks, it upgrades to a cobblestone block. But you can make a cobblestone block from 10 cobblestones, or you use 2 wood for the frame, another 4 to upgrade it to a wood block, another 4 or 6 to upgrade it to a reinforced block, and then 10 on top of it to get to this. So either way, you know, you will get there eventually. So yeah, for me, the next step, it's the next morning, by the way. For me, the next step was to actually go around here and carefully remove all of these blocks and replace them with wood or cobblestone, whichever I had. And so I made sure that the bars were supported all the way around, including on the ceiling, with cobblestone. Like that. Okay? And I basically just did a gradual process like that of upgrading first the outside. So I did the outside row of bars that I wanted to protect. Look, those bars down there aren't important. They're designed to be destroyed, and eventually you can take them down if you want. It's this row here that's important. So I did those 2 rows, and then I did the floor and ceiling of this tunnel, and then I did the walls of that tunnel, and then I did the floor and ceiling out here, and then I finally did the floor and ceiling in there. So I worked my way outside in, protecting first the bars, then my entrance and exit path, and then this outside area before I did the inside area. And that basically just gives me the best opportunity to be sure that the zombies are not going to get a way to dig into my base or smash their way into my base by armoring, by reinforcing everything outside first. And I did the same once I converted everything to concrete. So if I have a whole bunch of the wet cement resource, is it going to give me the bucket? There we go. Concrete mix. So as I went and upgraded each of these, I started around the bars first before I then went and did the entry and exit tunnel, and then I did this outside area, and then moved in and did my inside. And then when I went to reinforce them with reinforced concrete again, I did the same pattern. About halfway through that process, I reinforced this section up here, and I had 2 rows of cobblestone before I then put the inclined 2 rows of inclined cobblestone on top of that. And if I needed to, I filled in dirt around the top level there to make sure that it matched. Now the other thing, one little tip if you're new to this and you're not really sure, you haven't built much before, let me just show you something. If I so let's say I'm putting down these cobblestone blocks. Now you'll notice there is this gap here. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that with dirt. If I try and fill that in with dirt, let's have a look at what it does. Right. So if I go like this, like this, like this, like that, it doesn't fill it in. Now, you can take your shovel and try and really carefully wear it down. If you've got a shovel which is lesser quality, you can sort of wear it all down to the point where it's not quite as bad, but it still never looks as good as it could. That's where the plates come in. So you can start with the wood plate if you want. Let's just make 5 of those, and then you can upgrade it. Right. So if you put the plate not on the block but on the dirt block, it goes right up to the edge and covers over the little gap. And also it makes it easier for you to walk on. And if you're using something like a bike, the bike can get caught in this little gap. I'm not worrying about this gap here because I'm going to keep putting blocks all the way to the edge up there, and they're going to meet a wall of blocks that's going to reinforce the back wall. So everything's going to be nice and neat all the way that way. But this way, if I didn't have it, there'd be that little dip right there, and the bike can get caught in it, the bike's tires can get caught in it, a whole heap of stuff can happen. I don't know what I did there to get that blue block. Some sort of marker. But yeah, and then you can just reinforce these and upgrade them. You know, and they can be cement like everything else. And it makes a smoother transition from the outside dirt to your stone floors. So I hope that helps as well when you're building. But yeah, that's just a quick and dirty run through of the general process that I went through to build this base. So first of all, you work out how far back you want to dig to clear out the area. And to do that, I basically just said that I wanted 2 blocks at least above me. So I think I actually went 3 blocks of dirt and rock above me as my roof. Work your way back until you get to that, clear everything out, and then dig straight back as far back as you want to go, putting doors along the way. Clear out that back area, put your bars in, take these doors out, put your tunnel in, clear all of this out, and then if you want to, you can clear all of that out. Like, ultimately, I could just say, no, I don't want any of this. Alright, and that's my base done. I can now put a row of traps along here. I can do whatever I want. I've got places to put lights on the walls here around my base. I can upgrade these doors as much as I want. Eventually, make them vault doors, place them with vault doors. All that type of stuff. Just remember that you want to keep these doors closed when you're not, even when you're here. Keep the doors closed at all times. Just make it a habit of every time you come through, close the doors behind you, and you will be nice and safe and secure. And then you can eventually put your turrets along here, and any Blood Moon Horde, they're just going to come screaming down this and attack you. They're not going to dig through. Now, the only caveat to that is if you were to decide to put a forge up here rather than down there, right? So my idea was that the downstairs area is where I put all of my forges and stuff. I one time put a forge right here, and what I found is that there is a section right here which is dirt, not stone, and it is fairly close to where the forge ended up being, and the dirt went down for quite a way. The zombies started tunneling in from here because they got to here and there's a source of heat really close, so they're trying to get to it rather than coming down here and trying to get to me. So by putting the source of heat down underneath this area, it forces them to come in to get to it rather than to dig down to it, because they obviously have a certain range that if they're within range of that source of heat, they will start to break blocks to get to it rather than traveling a better path to get to it. So don't go too far back and put your forge right at the back. If I was to decide to dig back this way and put like another room back here and put a forge in it, they might decide to dig from the back of the hill and come towards you from the back, and you don't want that. You want to concentrate everything so they only come at you from the one direction. So if you're going to build down from here and put all of your things that are going to generate heat down under there. The one exception is I generally put my electric generator right here, but even that might be safer downstairs. Put my battery bank here because I don't think that produces much in the way of heat, but put my generator downstairs so that if I need to recharge my batteries, it's running and it's down there. It's further away. The easiest path for them to get to that source of heat is to come through. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like and share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all of my build videos, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.